Hello everyone, this is Fiona from SchoolNet, greeting you and welcoming you to a series of webinars from past winners and finalists in the Partners in Learning Forum in South Africa. Today we have Lisa Gare from the Rock Academy in Cape Town presenting highlights from her 2011 project. Lisa did the cutest donkey project called Adopt a Donkey, and she was one of 20 finalists in the South African competition. Let me just outline the project quickly. The aim of this project was to support Esseltjiesrus, a sanctuary for abused and neglected donkeys, whilst also learning ICT skills. The learners visited the sanctuary and learned about keeping the donkeys healthy and sustaining the sanctuary. They had a donkey treasure hunt in collaboration with local businesses. They started blogs and they held a raffle aiming to collect enough money to adopt a donkey for a year. So, over to you, Lisa.
The Esseltjiesrus is a donkey sanctuary. It's located out near McGregor, and it's a place where the donkeys that are neglected are healed and looked after and loved. And the main reason that I had this idea for this project was that initially when I got to the school, we didn't have the internet and we didn't have any office products, and I managed to get hold of the board and organize new equipment. And my challenge was really getting the kids up to speed with where they should be age-related wise in ICT. And I didn't want to just create another after-school extra lesson type of a thing. I wanted it to be something that was fun and something that would hold their interest the whole time. So I decided on this club. It all started off with an outing, which I'm going to tell you about a little bit later. The challenges, as I've said, were very outdated computers. We did have, and we were very grateful for the donations that we had, but some still had stiffy drives. We had no internet. There was very, very little that we could do. We needed to teach all these new applications, and this is where the idea of the club started. I did definitely have some practical and some academic outcomes in mind. As you can see here, first of all, I wanted to get the children and the parents enthusiastic about the project, because Esseltjiesrus is actually about 2.5 hours drive from here, and we did it on a Saturday. So we had to get enough enthusiasm for parents to help with lifts and teachers helped with lifts, and we all went through on a Saturday. We wanted to also make children aware of cruelty to animals and how they could help to be part of the solution. And sometimes it doesn't help just to go to a website or to listen to something on the radio or watch something on TV, but to actually go there firsthand and experience it is an activity that they're never going to forget. And then we wanted to raise the level of awareness in the school and in the community around us so that they felt that kind of compassion that moves one to action. Those are the practical objectives. The objectives, the academic objectives, were really to create a sense of excitement about learning, not just being extra lessons, but to want to learn, to want to continue, to want to build their knowledge. So we used Office when we got it, Word, PowerPoint, and Publisher. I also introduced them to blogging as a means of reaching the world with the plight of the donkeys. They each got to start their own blog, which we'll look at later. They also learned how to make a narrated photo story, how to make a movie in Movie Maker, and an auto collage, which they attached to a thank you letter, which they sent to the sanctuary after they had been. And then they wrote to Esseltjiesrus thanking them, and then we printed their blogs and we burnt them to CD. Right, the next slide. Where are we? Come, move down now. Okay. The components of the project. The project, as I said, took shape sort of around us, but these were the steps. First of all, we had the outing, the meeting, the grooming, the cleaning, the scrubbing, the interview, everything to do with the donkeys was had at that outing. From there, once that was all finished, they went on a treasure hunt and they had to work together to find the treasure. Then we designed our blogs. The next one was the students' presentation, the introduction to the different applications. Then we did the raffle, and I'm not going to go through all of those now because we're going to go through them step by step as we go. I don't think that slide came up. Where is my slide of the... Okay. Prior to the outing, I had to arrange with the Donkey Sanctuary for the visit and to the restaurant for lunch. So there was quite a little bit of organization that happened before the time. We advertised on our school blog that the computer club was going to be starting and what our aims were, what we wanted to do, what our dreams were. And this also helped to reach the wider community because they told their friends and they told their families. Everything was on the blog so they could go and have a look at it. And then I also started a host blog, which was called the Donkey Project, which would tell the students every week what we were going to be doing. So that before club started, they could go onto the Donkey Project blog and they would know, oh, today we're going to do a movie, or on Wednesday we're going to do a movie, and then they'd get excited about it, and there'd be this buzz of what was going to be happening. This is just a collage done in AutoCollage of a little bit about the day. We arranged, I mean, here you can see they had to pick up all the mess. They had to do a brain gym. They cleaned the tub with the clean drinking water. They took photos. They were taught how to clean the teeth and how to clean their eyes. It was a huge amount of fun for everybody. After they'd done the actual outing to the Donkey Sanctuary, we went through to McGregor, and I had arranged a treasure hunt. I'd got hold of a company, a small business in McGregor before the time, and they had helped me organize small businesses in McGregor who would act as the agents to hold the treasure. And then I organized some clues. I managed to get it to those businesses before the time. When we got there, they were divided into two teams, into Donkey and Eeyore, and they were given badges and they were given a map and their first clue, and off they had to go. Now, if any of you know McGregor at all, you'll know it's a very quiet, sleepy little village, and I don't think that they've had that much noise there. Well, I don't know since when. The village was alive with the sound of children screaming, and it was a huge amount of fun. From there, we had to start the club. So I think all the children probably fell asleep in the car on the way home, and on Monday morning, everybody was anxious to get started. And by the time we got to club, they wanted to know what a blog was. So our first step was starting a blog, and they each got to choose a blog name, and then I put that down the side of my blog roll so that they could just remember my blog, and then they would find themselves down the side. The second task was setting up their blog and designing their blog. They had taken their cameras with them on the outing, and so they were able to have all their video footage and their photograph footage available for them to use on their blog. Every week, as I said, I would update my host blog, so that way the children and the parents knew exactly what to look forward to the next time. When I started doing this, the teachers started coming to me to say, don't you want to teach me how to do a blog? This looks like so much fun. Some of them want a blog, even though they don't really know what to do with it. They just want to start one. So I had a little course soon afterwards teaching a couple of the teachers how to start a blog. But that's just by the way. All right, moving on. The next thing that we decided was that we didn't just want to have the blog and just academically write down and do movies of what we had learned. We wanted to actually raise some money because we realized that we could, as a school, maybe adopt a donkey for a year and do something physical and something concrete. So we decided to have a raffle. So the children worked in pairs there to design their own PowerPoint slide of the outing. And then this picture here shows them in assembly where they had to show a photograph of their slide. They projected their slide on and they had to motivate the school as to why they wanted to raise this money. And then the other picture down there is some of the club members with their raffle forms before they went to go and hand it out to the school. This is also blogged so that the rest of the community would know what it was that we were doing. There was a huge amount of excitement. The children really responded so well. The next task was introducing them to Movie Maker. They had to learn where to access their photographs from. They played with effects, they played with music, they played with colors and styles, and then it was great fun for them to add themselves as the directors and the cast at the end of it. And then what they did was they uploaded their movie onto their blog with their blurb about what they had learned about that day. The next thing that we did was introducing AutoCollage. This again was introduced via my blog that we would be doing this. The children absolutely loved this. They had to learn where to source the photographs from. And if any of you have used it, you'll understand. And those who haven't, I really suggest that you get it onto your computers at school. And you just basically source your photographs. It automatically puts them in, finds it in a folder, and you press create, and it does this wonderful roundabout thing, and it gives you a collage. You can either save it or you can redo it. Well, what happened with my kids was they wanted to save everyone, but they wanted to redo everyone as well. So they ended up with tons of collages, and then they had some to choose from. But they did this, and then when they wrote their thank you letter in Word, we inserted this into it, and they wrote a little thank you with some picture memories of their day. After that, we had our raffle winners, which were drawn, and they were drawn at assembly by our principal, and one class alone raised 600 Rand. They decided they didn't even want the class prize, they just wanted free time in ICT for a while. So that was pretty cool. To the two students who sold the first and second places are here with their raffle tickets and with their prizes. And what did we actually raise? We raised 3,100 Rand. So we were stoked because we meant that we had actually achieved our objective in adopting a donkey for a year, and that donkey's name is Ziggy. All right, and then we thought, is there anything else that we can do to raise even more awareness? So we had some brochures from the sanctuary, and what we did was we went to our local mall and we took the brochures and we handed them out at the mall, and our pupils had a chance to talk to some of the shop owners and some of the shoppers there. And then I sent the photograph into the newspaper, and we actually got a little bit of it published, which is really, really awesome. Okay, next slide. All right, the next task was writing to ESL Kiesrus, which we did. We then created the photo story and we burned the CD. Now we can have a look on the next slide, you'll see. Over here is in the evidence of learning, here's a copy of one of the letters with the autocollage embedded in it. And this is just an example of one of the PowerPoints that one of the students did to present at assembly. All of these are available on the blog. The blogs, I've left them running because people still pop in there and have a look at them. All of their works are still on their blog, all with their uploaded pictures, all with their blog posts. Their movies are there, their thank you letters. Their photo stories are also still there. They have since been uploaded. It was innovative in that it took learning beyond the classroom. It required a lot of communication between myself and the principal, the children, the parents, the sanctuary, the local businesses of McGregor. It wasn't something that happened a week before the time. It took some serious planning, and I could never have done it without the business support of the community around there. Collaborating, there was plenty of collaboration, as I've just said. That even the children had to collaborate with their teachers, they had to collaborate with the people at the sanctuary and with the people on the treasure hunt, with all the businesses. There had to be a real advert for their school. Knowledge building, definitely. They were stimulated to know more about the world around them. They were eager to learn new ICT skills. It also crossed some disciplines in terms of learning to map read, learning to interview staff, which they did at the Donkey Sanctuary with regard to how it was run. It also extended learning beyond the classroom, which I think is self-explanatory. And then use of ICT for learning, absolutely. We used quite a couple of platforms that they used, which we've been through already. And then teacher as an innovator and change agent. Well, yes, I think I was, but the children were awesome. Couldn't have done it without them. Really, I think it was just about having the right equipment for the job and having the motivation and the enthusiasm, and we had that in spades. So it was really an awesome project, and I would advise everybody to enter. So yes, that's my conclusion. It was innovative for these reasons. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll all be motivated to enter.
That was Lisa Gay from Cape Town. Thank you very much, Lisa, for sharing your cute project with us tonight. Good night, everyone.